fight it out.
It'll never happen, though.
Well, on one hand, it would be cool to have that matchup. At the other, you know, Colin versus Kula, but at the same time, both of them are very counter-esque. They both rely on drawing people in, and so that would make it kind of anticlimactic. And so both of them were bottoms.
It won't happen just on account of the fact that it would involve somebody making another crossover game.
Yeah, and I think they've realized that that's, even though it's fun to do, it's still pain in the ass to have to work out.
That's why SNK should be the one to make it.
Yeah. SNK's barely hanging on by a thread.
They won't be in a month when they get all that horny otaku money.
Yep. I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether I'm even going to get that, to be honest. I was thinking about gameflying it.
I'll fight this back. Why? Because it is my duty.
Like I was there and I was on board when it was first announced because I'm like, hey, another SNK fighting game. And then I saw what it was about and I'm like, nope. You lost me. I was there for a moment. You had me there almost.
I timed that badly.
Also looking at the fact that they have, I don't know if it's a mobile game or what, but apparently they do have like a 3D model for a bunch of characters that haven't shown up in 14 yet.
Okay.
But you know, they're obviously not like super amazing models, but since it's for a, I'm guessing it's a phone game.
Okay.
Some kind of like weird quasi beat 'em up.
I don't know how to parse that.
So somebody showed me a video of all the super moves in it. And they have a model for like Rugal and New Face Team, Chizuru. All these people I want to be playable. Yes, I need my wife back. Give me her, you cowards. Don't just do this thing where she shows up in people's endings and that's it. Same with Adelheid. I mean, really, guys. Give us that Adelheid Rugal story arc. So we have that explanation of fucking why and how Rugal had kids in the first place. I mean, other than the fact that it happened, that's it. That's all we know.
Well, so much for that. G is interesting, and I'm still trying to figure him out. I
don't like his theme.
I kind of wish that his theme was the song that they used for his intro. You know, for his promo sequence. You know, for his promo segment.
Then again, like all the music for the new characters has been kind of.
It's inoffensive. It doesn't exactly stand out.
Either inoffensive or it just doesn't fit.
Yep.
Such as Ed's theme.
Ed is such a confusing character to me.
I like the idea of Ed.
Mm-hmm. The execution leaves a bit to be desired.
Yes.
Instant kill.
Also, the fact that he's like a huge muscular dude now instead of a gangly kid.
Yeah, like, you know, in a relatively short period of time, too.
And they're just like, oh, it's because he's a clone body or something.
Right. I feel like they wanted to go one way with it, or they just kind of made him and then didn't really think about it. Then later, like, oh, well, we want to do this with him, and they just did it instead of thinking about it.
We'll just age him up through science.
Yep.
Well, ain't you a high-def picture of strength? I'm shaking here.
Have you considered your destiny? Do you believe in fate?
Round one. Fight.
And then there's Minot with her like, here I am coming to steal your man walk.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the things that at least got me to pay attention to her. And like I said, I'm kind of like the way that her moves work, and I'm trying to figure her out a bit more.
I was all about it at first because I'm just like, hey, like we don't have Rose in the game, so she'll be like Rose, and then she was not like Rose.
That was probably an assumption you should not have made, since that's kind of if you like I said, it's actually a shock that Sagat is as similar as he used to be to how he was before, because that's rare now as a character that plays exactly like they did before, without any alterations or changes in theory or concept, I guess.
Future is a little bit underwhelming.
Yep. Future is hazy. Ask again later.
I do like the idea of just like, what if we had Balrog and Bison as one character?
That's actually not a bad concept. Too bad they give him that big stupid cape that covers his arm movements and makes it hard to tell what he's doing. And they didn't like animate the cape properly. They just said, "Hey, physics."
We'll let the physics engine take care of it.
Yep, that was a bad idea. And I don't know, I didn't think about these things as much, but then I sat down and watched this guy that was kind of going a little bit more in depth on the animations and what the impact was in terms of how that worked in the game, and just how sometimes when people are making animations, they don't think about that when they're doing it, and they just put whatever comes to mind on the screen. Like NetherRealm, just I knew they were. Look at it this way: I knew something was wrong watching their animations. I could never put in the words why it was wrong. And then I watched this guy's video on it, and just how some of the animations are just nonsensical.
Lacking an impact, kind of choppy, weird.
They don't have. There's no weight or meaning to what their moves are doing.
There's no flow.
People do kicks from like a standing position with no weight on their movements.
And all
Like
the
they just kind of side kick without the rest of their body moving, which is completely unnatural and inhuman.
all the damage animations are kind of still doing that like classic Mortal Kombat thing where they're really stiff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll kick your ass! All right,
Like I said, I had no idea just how far it went. And then like he contrasted, you know, to contrast Ed, for instance, and how his cape doesn't really fit his movements or complement him in any way. And they used, what's his face, Rock from King of Fighters 14. And really from Rock in general, and like how his jacket is animated. And they went to the trouble of actually animating his jacket in 14, which is weird because there are a lot of characters in 14 that don't get animated like that.
Does anybody else really wear a jacket that's as loose?
No, but there are other characters with like loose outfits where the movements aren't really, you know, aren't really considered. I was gonna laugh at you and getting hit by that mic.
I don't know what birdie time does.
Well, that's one way to deal with it.
If there was an outfit I actually did want, it's Birdie's nostalgia outfit. I wish I had gotten that with the purchase of Arcade Edition.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised you didn't already have it, honestly.
They gotta be kidding me if they think I'm gonna pay like $4 for that.
Fair enough.
It's like y'all are crazy. Birdie time! Whatever it does.
Birdie time is cancelled.
It is now real Kiwi hours. The thing with Birdie is one of those points of contentions I have with Street Fighter where it's just like, okay, like, you had an idea here, but shouldn't you have just used it for somebody else?
Fair enough.
Like, bring back Rufus if you're gonna have a dumb fat character.
Whatever happened to Rufus, anyway?
Mouthed off to the wrong person.
What makes you think that?
Mouth off is all Rufus does.
Oh.
Giant donut.
But even Rufus wasn't like obsessed with food.
Yeah, he was just obsessed with Ken.
Yes. I was still amused as hell when he confused Bob for Ken Masters.
Guy, you're copying my look, Ken Masters. If there was one thing that Street Fighter Cross Tekken had going for it, it did have a lot of personality.
Oh yeah, that was the best thing of it. That was literally the only thing it had going for it, in my opinion.
I mean, gameplay-wise, I thought it was fine, except for the gem thing.
Yeah, the way the gems were implemented didn't really work out.
On the plus side,
I'm still kind of interested to see how that's going to work out for EX Fighting Layer, Fighting Layer EX.
So far, it hasn't been like you can't. Well, unlike Cross Tekken, you can't play without them. So you just kind of have to pick one and be like, okay, well.
Well, it's part of the mechanic of the game now. You actually have to pay attention to that a little bit, from what it looked like.
Like when somebody always has super armor, for example. That sucks.
Yep.
For those who I wish to protect, I will fight you.
Very much a, could you not?
All right.
Also, I noticed that they don't let you really create like your own deck or whatever.
Yeah, they're all preset.
Yes, that probably makes a big difference.
Balance or something.
Well, you can't create like a completely overpowered deck at that point, unless they just didn't balance the actual deck properly.
Pretty much. I have no idea what that was supposed to do. Alex, put a Keijo thing in there.
Way too close there.
Or that animated gif of Senran Kagura that you hate so much.
Oh boy. I keep getting told that some of the Senran Kagura games are actually good gameplay-wise, but like, it's very hard for me to take it seriously.
Yeah, that's pretty much my understanding. Is the gameplay's fine. It's just, you know, the presentation.
Yep.
When you got your fetish on like fucking full display. I'm completely unapologetic about it.
Oh, I thought I'd go under it. Oh.
I suspected, so I'm like, I'll use the light kick version because that'll probably angle it downward.
It comes at a different angle for different buttons?
Yep.
I did not know that.
I recognize the pattern finally. So has your that new game for you started for you yet?
New game?
Yeah, I haven't really been paying attention to it. Whatever the thing the parents are.
No. As it turns out, everybody is kind of bad with creating fake characters, so it's taking a lot longer than they normally should.
Well, real fake characters.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Oh, it's a throw. Okay. Understood.
It's pretty hard to dodge that after that hit confirm happens. That's not gonna work.
Not that time.
No. Ah.
Jab.
Shouldn't have gone for a heart attack.
You win.
Winning the war against pants. Also, next time on Bro vs. Bro, maybe more pants?
Maybe, maybe not.